It's the 11th of July. A warm welcome to you joining us here in Nairobi and across the country. A very good evening. My name is Yambo, and of course this is the Legends edition. A lot lined up for you tonight, but first a look at what's coming up. Ignoring the noise. President William Ruto rebukes opposition for lacking a clear development agenda. Toned down. Kenya Kwanza Alliance leaders preach peace as the All-Kalau by-election campaigns enter the home stretch. Lighting up Monaco. World and Olympic 800 meters champion Emmanuel Wanyonyi breaks 1,000 meters world record in his debut. Thank you once again for making the time for us this evening. Helping me on the sign language is Byron Abuli. We begin the Legends edition where President William Ruto has hit out at the opposition, accusing its leadership of lacking a clear development agenda for the country. Speaking in Meru County, the head of state observed that political noise from his detractors is meant to derail the Kenya Kwanza administration's flagship programs. The president asked the residents to support his re-election bid in the 2027 general election as leaders in the area pledged to rally the electorate behind the president. Kamcha Menza begins our bulletin tonight. On Saturday, President William Ruto joined mourners at Kaelo, Igembe North, Meru County for the burial ceremony of Mzee Patrick Baikilanya, father to area member of parliament Julius Taitumu. President Ruto eulogized the late Mzee Baikilanya as a leader whose legacy should be emulated.
Vile alienda mpaka akafanya kazi katika Kenya Railways kule Nakuru. Mimi ninaamini ya kwamba kama angekuwa bado kijana, leo angekuwa anafanya kazi pale Rironi tukiendeleza barabara hiyo ya kwenda Mau Summit. Kwa sababu alikuwa ni mtu wa kujituma na bidii.
President Ruto used the occasion to defend his track record, urging the residents to ignore the political distraction from opposition and support his 2027 re-election bid.
Kila kiongozi apimwe na kazi yake. Kuna hata wengine hawajui Antobetwe ni wapi na wanataka kupigiwa kura. Wewe utapigiwa kura ujui alafu mtu atueleze barabara gani ametengeneza, stima gani ametengeneza, maji watoto ngapi wamesomesha, matibabu wamepanga namna gani. Mtu uweze kupiga tu kelele hapa wantam kasongo sijui nini atupigiwe kura. Utapigiwa kura namna gani bado?
Local leaders pledged their full backing in the region for the president's second term, while at the same time taking a swipe at former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua.
Kama alitushinda tukiwa kwa serikali, my friend, pangeni maendeleo kutoka 2028 mpaka 2032 mkiwa na yeye, because hiyo ingine ni kelele tunapiga a few months. Na hakuna president hajapigiwa kelele.
Mimi nashangaa watu wanasema sikiza ground. Kwani kuna ground nyingine kuliko hii? Iko wapi ground nyingine kuliko hii iko hapa? Hii ndio ground yenyewe hii, Your Excellency. Na hii ground inasema ni 2 term kwa His Excellency William Ruto. Na hapo hakuna kubanduka.
Rais Kebake akawa na 2 term. Rais Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta ambaye mlifanya naye akawa 2 term. Sasa hapa Meru kwa hao wote, yale mambo ambao unaendelea kufanya hapa Meru ni yale mambo haijawahi fanywa na mwingine rais ambayo wameenda mbele yako.
President Ruto further pledged to accelerate key infrastructure projects in Meru County, among them local road network.
Tuweke barabara ingine hiyo mmesikia akisema ya kutoka Mea na hata mpaka Bulu na iungane iende mpaka ishike Ndonyo. Hiyo barabara tumeweka milioni 113, contractor amefika tayari, atawatengenezea, ndio iwe rahisi sisi kukabiliana na wale wakora ambao wanasumbua na mambo ya wizi wa ng'ombe.
Later, the head of state traveled to Kitui County, where he inspected the Chuluni Zombe Road and Zombe Market. Kamche Menza for the Legends edition.
Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki has urged leaders to put aside what he termed as premature 2032 succession politics and instead focus on supporting the government's development agenda ahead of the 2027 general election. Speaking in Kaptagat, Elgeyo Marakwet County, the Deputy President also assured communities living around Kaptagat Forest of continued access to the forest through designated entry points as the government intensifies conservation efforts. Deputy President Kithure Kindiki is calling for an end to what he describes as early succession politics, saying the country's focus should remain on implementing development projects and improving the lives of Kenyans. Speaking during a conservation meeting in Kaptagat, Elgeyo Marakwet, Kindiki urged leaders and wananchi to rally behind President William Ruto's administration, arguing that continuity in leadership would allow ongoing projects to be completed.
I am calling to all those people around this country, all leaders moving around the Republic of Kenya, to stop early campaigns for 2032 because we have a business to do fast next year so that we can consolidate the gains that we have got from the leadership of President Ruto.
The Deputy President highlighted key achievements by the Kenya Kwanza administration, including the construction of Talanta Sports City and other stadia, rehabilitation of thousands of kilometers of roads, and the reduction of fertilizer prices to boost agricultural production.
All of us who have seen Rironi Mau Summit, all of us who have seen Nyota, all of us who have seen fertilizer come from 7,000 to 2,500, we must join hands next year to make sure William Ruto gets the second term as President of the Republic of Kenya.
At the event, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen accused former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua of promoting divisive politics and inflammatory rhetoric.
Huyo mwenye alikaa kwa kiti yako amechafua sana hewa ya nchi. Ukisikia mambo yenye anasema unashindwa kama amewahi kukaa kwa kiti ya maana kama wewe.
On environmental conservation, the Deputy President assured communities living around Kaptagat Forest that they will continue accessing the forest through designated entry points as the government steps up efforts to restore and protect the ecosystem.
The people and the community will continue benefiting from the forest even as they protect and conserve the forest, and they will do so using designated access areas which will be provided by the Kenya Forest Service.
To other news, Orange Democratic Movement Party leader Oburu Oginga has defended his recent controversial, that is in quotes, benevolent dictatorship remarks, claiming his critics have blown the comment out of proportion for political mileage. Oburu claims he did not advocate for authoritarianism, but simply urged the president, that is William Ruto, to be firm in executing his decisions, his decision on the administration for the country's greater good. This even as the opposition continue to sustain pressure on the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, the IBC, over the handling of next week's Ol-Kalou by-election, calling on the commission to put its house in order.
The Orange Democratic Movement continued its series of empowerment activities across the Lakeside Nyanza region, with Game constituency in Siaya County being the listed top. Following criticism over his benevolent dictator remarks, ODM party leader Oburu Oginga used the opportunity to absolve himself from claims that he was advocating for authoritarianism. Oburu observed that Kenya Kwanza administration under President William Ruto, supported by ODM-affiliated leaders in the broad-based arrangement, had initiated key progressive policies and decisions that would shepherd Kenya towards Singapore dream.
And if you want to go to Singapore, let us follow what Singapore did. You read Lee Kuan Yew. Lee Kuan Yew was the leader of Singapore. And Lee Kuan Yew used just benevolent dictatorship in order to push Singapore to the first world.
Kwa mara ya kwanza kwa wiki imepita, President Ruto ameweka sahihi katika Sovereign Wealth Fund. Sasa ni act, so that we can better plan for the resources that we have, the natural resources that we have in this country. That out of those resources, we must set aside a given percentage to look into the welfare of those generations that will come after us. And for the people of Siaya, the people of Game and Kenya, we have an opportunity to attract private investment, because government can only do so much. And as we attract those private investment, we must make sure that the resources and the money that we get out of those resources makes a difference in the lives of our people.
The ODM brigade told of Siaya Governor James Orengo of his claims that he was the defender of ODM ideals. And a day after being slammed by DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua, Murang'a Governor Irungu Kang'ata was in Homa Bay County, hosted by area Governor Gladys Wanga. Governor Kang'ata declared that he would not be held hostage by regional politics and that he would continue to champion unity, a stance backed by Governor Wanga and area Senator Moses Kajwang.
I strongly believe Kenya is one. No one made an application to be a Kikuyu or a Luo or a Maasai. We all found ourselves in our ethnic group. We should not divide ourselves because of politics. I believe in the motto that was said 100 years ago: one God, one aim, one destiny. We are one.
We should stand together against people like Gachagua, who have said this country is balkanized into shareholders and non-shareholders.
We want a situation where Kimani and Onyango can sit together, where Cheriot and Opio can sit together, where Fatuma and Oluoch can sit together and compete on the basis of merit.
In the meantime, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and Jubilee Deputy Party Leader Fred Matiang'i have called on the IEBC and the National Police Service to proactively deal with any incidents of lawlessness that would threaten next week's by-election in Ol Kalou constituency.
So wewe Deputy Inspector General umesema jana ukiwa Keganjo that mutaweka ulinzi ya kutosha, hamutakubalia goons kuja Ol Kalou. If you are genuine and you mean it, pongezi. Lakini tutaona.
The level of confidence in them is declining. I want to say this boldly. The level of confidence in the IEBC is going below average.
Gishuke Washira, Legends Edition.
Well, and that story by Gishuke Washira brings us to our first commercial break on the Legends Edition. Stay with us if you can.
Kukurea, Olmo, Rodri trying to poke holes in the defence. This is one way of doing it. Lamine Yamal is on the way. Yamal, brilliant! Side netting. Spain beginning to look irresistible.
He's tried to do him with the near post. He's given him the eyes, but Thibaut Courtois doesn't fall for it. Just tries to go for power instead. Just overcooks it ever so slightly, a yard the wrong side of the post.
Star 977 hash or download My Power app to access Kenya Power services fast and easy. Kenya Power, Nuru ya Kenya.
always support France, and I have my valid reasons why I support France. One, we have many Africans there, being one of the Africans. Their mode of play, their tactics, their players, how they are brave, how they play their games is so fantastic.
My name is Harrison Otieno of Yambo. The best name ever known is Harry Maguire, because I'm a biggest Manchester fan. So I'm very impressed with the World Cup of 2026, though we have some of the challenges about the time we as Africans. So you can find even the match is being officiated at a time when people are sleeping. So it's so much cumbersome that we can't watch, but we do follow each and every day.
Kwa majina naitwa Victory Nobola. Hapa tuko Dunga Beach, tunachapa kazi. Mimi ndio coxswain wa hii boat inaitwa TKM Tours. Tukitoka hapa jioni, tukishapata riziki, tunaenda kuwatch World Cup. Sasa hizi unaweza iwatch hata kwa nyumba. Channel ni KBC Channel 1. Sasa kila mtu tunaomba after kuchapa kazi jioni, direct KBC Channel 1. Keep it locked there.
For you, and you are always there. The sweetest words of love. Hey.
Welcome back to the Legends edition. Now we go to Ol Kalou, where Kenya Kwanza Alliance leaders have called for calm as the Ol Kalou by-election campaign enters the home stretch. The leaders called on the UDA candidate Samuel Muchina, led by Laikipia East MP Mwangi Kiunjuri, further accused the UDA leaders, allied to UDA's candidate Samuel Muchina, led by Laikipia East MP Mwangi Kiunjuri, further accused the Democracy for Citizens Party, that is DCP brigade, of allegedly funding violence to intimidate Muchina's supporters.
As the Ol Kalou mini polls nears, UDA and DCP leaders pointed fingers at each other over incidents of violence during the ongoing campaigns.
Watu wa Ol Kalou wameamua ni Muchina. Hiyo vitina ingine hakuna. Na hata opinion polls kila mahali zinaonyeshana Muchina ako mbele ya hao wengine wote wapinzani wetu. Hata ukiweka pamoja bado Muchina na washinda. Ndio unaona vitisho vimeanza.
Laikipia East lawmaker Mwangi Kiunjuri accusing DCP of spewing propaganda to fuel tensions ahead of the mini polls. In a UDA rally, the leaders said their rivals were seeking to gain sympathy votes.
Hata wakijaribu kufuruga uchaguzi, manake wanaanza kusema sijui goons wanakuja, sijui nini. Sisi tuko na kura zetu. Opinion poll inaonyesha tuko na kura zetu. Kwa nini sisi tuharibu uchaguzi ambaye tunashinda? IEBC tunataka kurudia tena. Uchaguzi uendelee tarehe 16. Sisi tuko na amani.
Na ninauhimizwa kwa wananchi wetu hapa Ol Kalou ya kwamba tuendelee kudumisha amani, kwa sababu uchaguzi utakuja na utaisha na sisi tutabaki tukiwa wananchi wa Ol Kalou. Jambo la muhimu ni kuambia kwamba wananchi wa Ol Kalou ya kwamba sisi tunajua ya kwamba tarehe 16 ikifika masaa ya jioni, uchaguzi utakapokamilika na kura kuhesabiwa, ninajua ya kwamba ni sisi mimi ambaye nitatangazwa nikiwa mshindi.
This is after a scuffle briefly disrupted campaign convoys in Karunga along the Ol Kalou Gilgil Road, where police fired shots into the air to disperse clashing rival groups. The incident occurred after a DCP campaign truck crossed paths with UDA supporters' convoys, resulting to a confrontation. Meanwhile, Saboti legislator Caleb Amisi, while accompanying the People's Renaissance Movement candidate Timothy Kariuki, called on the IBC to rein in on alleged poll malpractices.
Ol Kalou election by election is guinea pig. You mess Ol Kalou, you are going to mess the general election. How you conduct Ol Kalou gives Kenyans, it gives the Kenyans a picture on how you are also going to conduct the general election. Do not take Ol Kalou simply.
Amisi also took issues with former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua over remarks that the Linda Mwananchi movement should keep off the All Kalau campaigns. Leaders from across the political divide have urged the supporters to remain peaceful as the by-elections slated for Thursday next week enters home stretch. Giverson Minor, Legends Edition, All Kalau, Nyandarua County.
Thank you, Giverson Maina, reporting there from All Kalau. Now, away from politics, a family in Thika, Yambo County is mourning the death of their 16-year-old son after what is alleged to be a confrontation with a fellow student inside Thika High School. The grade 10 student's death has triggered outrage and questions over safety in schools as police investigate the circumstances that led to the death of the teenager.
A somber mood at the General Cargo Mortuary in Thika, Yambo County, as the family of a 16-year-old boy, a grade 10 student at Thika High School, struggles to come to terms with the sudden yet controversial death of their child.
Hatujajua chanzo ya vita ilianzia vipi na kifo ya mtoto ilipatikana kwa njia gani. Kwa hivyo ilikuwa ni shock kwa mama kusikia ya kwamba mtoto wake unampata kwenye kitanda ya kubeba maiti na hujui chanzo kilichotokea.
The source of the squabble between the deceased and his classmate, nighttime prayers.
And when they were planning to pray, two boys disagreed. A boy by the name Mohammed Herad and another boy called Eric Kimani. The differences caused a fight between the two of them. And within 5 minutes, when they were fighting, Mohammed fell down.
A confrontation that is said to turn ugly so quickly, with the teenager sustaining fatal injuries. What should have been a normal night for the family abruptly became the worst following a phone call from the school's deputy principal, who informed them that their son had been involved in a fight and that they should report to the school immediately. Upon arrival, the gut-shattering news was delivered.
Nikamuuliza swali moja. Is my son alive or dead? Sitaki kujua ni nini memtendeka ama ni nini maifanywa. Is he alive or ashaga? Hakunijibu. DPT akakata simu. Mimi nikafika. Kufika hapa nikapata kijanangu. Alikuwa amelazwa kwa kitanda kingine hapo kona. He was just there, restless.
Despite efforts to provide emergency medical care to the student at the school dispensary, the student was non-responsive and was rushed to Thika Level 5 hospital, where he was pronounced dead.
Mohammed, when he was rushed to the dispensary, the clinic officer, the school clinic officer, attended to him and organized with the deputy principal administration to rush him to Thika Level 5 hospital, where he was taken, and while he was being treated at Thika Level 5, he was pronounced dead.
Na tunaongoja matokeo ya postmortem ndio tujue chanzo na sababu ya mtoto wetu kufariki. Lawama naelekeza kwa shule kwa sababu shule yenyewe ingelikuwa imeon that responsibility.
A controversial death of a student who was in a place that should be considered safe. The Thika High School principal, Julius Moriah, has pledged the school's total cooperation with investigative authorities, even as the family seeks justice for their kin. A student is in police custody over the matter, while others are expected to record statements. Kasichana Masha, Legends Edition.
Do you save for retirement?
Kwani mimi ni mzee? I'm still young and I've got plenty of time to start saving later. Then again, si watu wa jua kali. Hatunanga hizo ma pension plans.
Kwani ujui unaweza register with an individual pension plan yenye iko regulated na RBA?
Inawakaje?
Una deposit any amount of money at any time na uko guaranteed ukikuwa mzee. Maisha yako itakuwa nywe.
Badala na kushow ni ukweli. Hadi mimi boost savings zangu kwa scheme yetu ya job.
Really?
Nilijua siwezi kuwa kijana forever. Sis, usikose kujipanga mapema. Tutakuwa wazee wa maana.
Hebu nionyesheni kwa mzee wa maana.
Ensure you save and plan for your retirement during your youthful working days. Provided you are earning an income, you can join a retirement benefit scheme registered by Retirement Benefits Authority and safeguard your tomorrow. RBA, safeguarding your retirement benefits.
Thank you for staying with us. The Legends Edition news continues, where as the 10th edition of the Kaptagat Integrated Conservation Program was being marked on Saturday in Keio South, Elgeyo Marakwet County, one man engaged in the event with humility, having made great strides in positively impacting his community. National Treasury Principal Secretary Dr. Chris Kiptoo is the patron of the initiative, and his passion and commitment for environmental conservation is inspiring public officers to follow in his footsteps.
During Mashujaa Day on October 20th, 2025 in Kitui County, Dr. Chris Kiptoo was recognized as National Hero for leading Kaptagat climate action and conservation efforts. And on Saturday, July 11th, 2026, the National Treasury Principal Secretary hosted dignitaries at the 10th edition of the Kaptagat Integrated Conservation Program, of which he is the patron. The activities of the day included tree planting, where high-value cash crop seedlings, including avocado, coffee and cocoa, were planted.
We are here to give support to our Shujaa, our hero, who was honored on matters environment because of the work he has done on this Kaptagat forest.
National Heroes Council Chief Executive Officer Charles Wambia and the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation Managing Director Agnes Kaliche were among CEOs in attendance.
I think for other colleagues, especially in government and in the entire country, let's take these initiatives, let's spread it out across all the counties, because that's the only way we should be able to get to the 15 billion trees. So for us at KBC, we'll support that. We will also give publicity to the initiatives that, guide, that help towards that initiative. So we are very, very excited.
Today they have their 10th edition, and they are working on improving more areas for planting of trees to make sure that they meet the target the president has given of 15 billion trees in 2032. What has come out very loudly and very clear is that now they are integrating food products.
The chief executives cite the initiative as the ideal example of community-led conservation. They further underscored the importance of broader campaigns to champion restoration of Kenya's forest cover and mitigation of effects of climate change.
We have seen that with resilience you can achieve much. At the initial stages, the few editions, I was here on the 6th edition and also I think the 9th edition last year. And I'm seeing a lot of progress, and with where there is will, there is way.
As Kenya continues in its journey to achieving 15 billion trees cover by 2032, Kaptagat Integrated Conservation Program will continue setting the standards for the generations to come.
As a ministry, we are supplying communities around the forest with subsidized gas cylinders with a view to ensure that they desist from going to forest to destroy trees for firewood, so that the government makes this alternative energy available.
To matters health now, where a family in Amalemba on the outskirts of Kakamega town is appealing to well-wishers to help them raise 5.5 million shillings for a life-saving bone marrow transplant for their 8-year-old daughter who is battling leukemia. Shane Rosette Angote has been fighting the disease since 2023, a battle that has forced her to defer joining grade 3 this year due to frequent hospital admissions and intensive treatment.
Susan Matinde says the family's ordeal began with what seemed like a persistent cough before doctors discovered Shane's blood levels had dropped significantly. Further medical tests later confirmed Shane had leukemia.
So zikapunguzwa within 4 days, akawa imepungua from 588 ikashuka hadi 39. Walikuwa wanafanya after 2 days wanapima. Akaniambia tumetuma sample Lancet Eldoret, wacha tuone results zitatoka. Na hizi za hawa. So zikatoka the same, 38, 39. Akaniambia mama, sikubali nitibu mtoto. Kabla results zitoke, juu BMA sasa walikuwa wamemtoa, walikuwa wame-extract, wame-aspirate kwa bone marrow. Akaniambia hii test inachukuanga 2 weeks, ndio results zitoke, hatuwezi ngoja. Wacha niendelee kutibu mtoto. Nikamwambia wewe endelea tukumtibu, juu sasa tuko hapa. So alimtibu for about 1 week. Mtoto akakuwa sasa ako stable. Hiyo joto hata haiko zimeisha. But ilibidi tukae tungoje results zitoke. So ilizitoka akaniambia ni hiyo, ameconfirm ni acute lymphoblastic leukemia.
Despite undergoing months of treatment, the cancer has relapsed, prompting doctors to recommend an urgent bone marrow transplant as her only chance of survival.
Sahi natafuta pesa ya kufanya donor matching. Juu hiyo lazima ifanyike tu wa match waone nani atadonate kati ya ndugu yake na dada yake, na lazima zitumwe zote India. Na hiyo ni cash inalipa. Lazima tutume hizo zitoke ndio tujue mwenye atadonate hiyo bone marrow.
The family says they have already spent more than 1.5 million shillings on treatment at Nairobi West Hospital after exhausting their medical insurance, taking loans and borrowing from relatives and friends. With their finances depleted, they are now unable to raise the 5.5 million shillings required for the transplant, excluding the cost of donor matching tests.
Umechukua top up, nimechukua KCB loan, nimechukua mshwari, yani nimejiblock kila mahali. Yenye sasa ikifika mwisho wa mwezi, like mimi sijuangi mwisho wa mwezi ni nini. Huwa inaniuma sana kama mzazi, kama mage tumetembea na hii jani. Inaniuma sana hiyo wakati. Ningependa sana kama kuna usaidizi tungeweza pata, tutashukuru. Wenye mtapata ujumbe. Shane is a fighter. Shane amepigana. Kwanza 2023 amepigana. Na bado tunatumaini kubwa sana. Kuwa sasa vile daktari amesema ni bone marrow transplant ndio kitu kitamsaidia apone kabisa completely.
Those willing to support Shane's treatment can send their contributions through paybill number 4816035, account number Rosette, or contact Susan Matinde on 0720 468 287. Jacqueline Masharia for Legends Edition.
Lamine Yamal again picking it up on the right-hand side. Clever ball through. The angle was tight. The effort was superb. Coming in from Oyarzabal, the star man up front of this World Cup.
Oh, it's wonderful stuff. It's as if there's only 5 minutes left. It's both teams going at each other. Massive touch there from Mikhail.
That may well actually have been Moreno's first touch of the game. He'd only been on the pitch 2 minutes. It was 5 minutes against Portugal when he found the net. He's there, super sub. Witsel will be bucked. His foul, 140th cap tonight. Probably looking for a new club now that Girona have gone down. Well, he timed it wrong. I'll tell you what, the studs were out a little bit. That slowed down doesn't look pleasant.
Oh, doesn't it? Just that the force wasn't quite in it. It's more of a rake down.
Well, and there you have it. It's time for sports. You can see Bernard Okumu is in studio. Bernard,
yes.
So the World Cup is now on the home stretch, if I may put it that way.
Sure.
So you have two, can I say quarterfinal matches tonight?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
You're so correct. Two more quarterfinal matches today, which means two more semi-final slots to be decided. And they'll be joining, or rather, Spain as well as France, who've already gone through. So today, it is first off the cards at midnight. It will be England against Norway. Then later on Switzerland against Argentina. But of course I'll tell you this and much more, including news from the local scene on the Legends of Sports this lovely evening. And thank you so much for staying with us. Let's begin with a big task for Junior Starlets tomorrow, where President William Ruto has rallied Kenyans to turn out in large numbers and support the Junior Starlets as the national under-17 women's soccer team stands on the brink of securing a second consecutive FIFA under-17 Women's World Cup qualification. Now, President Ruto said that the Junior Starlets are just 90 minutes away from another historic World Cup appearance and urged fans to fill up the Nyayo National Stadium with flags, voices and unwavering support. In his message, the head of state described the moment as bigger than football, calling on the country to unite behind the team. The Junior Starlets head into Sunday's decisive qualifier against South Africa, carrying a commanding 2-0 first-leg advantage from Pretoria. A win, draw or even a one-goal defeat will be enough to book Kenya's place at the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup scheduled for Morocco later this year.
Wakenya, kuwakumbusha tu, our Junior Starlets team is 90 minutes away from qualifying for the FIFA Under-17 World Cup once again. The team has earned this moment. Now it's our turn as a nation to stand behind them. Let's fill the stadium with our flags, our voices, and our belief in the next generation. This is more than football. One nation, one team, one dream. Tukutane Nyayo Stadium this Sunday. Let's go, Kenya.
And we stay with the under-17 team because the Junior Starlets will take on South Africa tomorrow at the Nyayo National Stadium in the return leg of their FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. Of course, the match will kick off at 4 p.m. tomorrow at Nyayo National Stadium.
Kenya heads into the decisive encounter with a 2-0 advantage from the first leg, meaning a win, draw or even a one-goal defeat will be enough to secure qualification for the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup in Morocco. A positive result will see the Junior Starlets book another historic appearance at the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. Head coach Mildred Cheche has expressed confidence in her players, saying they have discipline, focus and mentality needed to finish the job against South Africa and secure qualification.
I think having a player who can literally play in any position is very good, and in our selection this year, that's what we were looking at, that we have players who can play more than 2 or 3 positions. So for Faith Boke, she can play at least 4 positions, and that is a plus for the team.
There's no tension because as tunajibelieve, we believe in each other. Tunabelieve that hata kama tuliwin away, tunajua home wanaweza kuja with different mentality, wanaweza kuja with different tactics, but sisi hatuna that tension.
It will be historic indeed for the national under-17 to return to the global stage after doing so for the first time in 2024. They are bidding to return to the World Cup for the second time in 3 years. Let's switch gears and look at athletics, where world and Olympic 800 meters champion Emmanuel Wanyonyi was in class of his own with a world record-breaking performance during the Wanda Diamond League meeting in Monaco at the Louis XI Stadium in Monaco. Now, world-class country champion Agnes Ngetich also made headlines with a meet record. Monaco has always been a good hunting ground for Wanyonyi, who broke the 1,000 meters record in his debut when he clocked 2 minutes 11.83 seconds to a race 0.13 off the old mark set by Noah Ngeny in 1999. Former 1,500 meters world champion Jake Whitman was second, followed by Olympic medalist Jamel Sejati. Agnes Ngetich won the 3,000 meters race in a meet record of 8 minutes 08.95 seconds, which is the third fastest performance in history. 1,500 meters and mile record holder Faith Kipyegon was fourth behind Ngetich. Aleshin Bawake and Senayet Getachew, who all clocked personal bests. Olympic finalist Simon Koech continued his dominance in the 3,000 meters steeplechase to win in 8 minutes 3.35 seconds ahead of Japan's Ryuji Miura and Dominique Lobalu of Switzerland.
1:17.69, that is pretty much on schedule. Can he attack the Kenin? It's so much easier to come from behind in this situation, but Wanyonyi has the strength. He pulled clear in the last.
And to rafting now, where Kenya emerged as the top African nation at the Sagana leg of the Rafting World Cup Series that came to a close on Saturday at the Rapids camp. This was the first time that the event was being hosted here in Africa. Take a look. The final day of competition at the Rafting World Cup Series in Sagana provided a thrill to those in attendance as the competitors took the river course in the slalom event. Kenya swept the Africa Championship wins in the mixed team, para rafting, men's and women's races.
Hiyo mashindano ilikuwa ni kujikakamua, sababu unaona sasa tuko tunashindana na watu wako na experience. Sasa ilibidi sasa tukae kwa maji tukakamp hapa for about 3 months. Ndio tumepata again, hapo tena government ikatusaidia wakatupatia coach.
In the global competition, Kenya finished second in para-rafting that was won by Italy. The women's race was won by Italy as Russia, competing on neutral team status, took silver and Kenya won bronze. In the men's event, Kenya took bronze behind Italy and Czechia, respectively. In the mixed event, Kenya finished fourth as Russia's teams took gold and silver, with Italy taking silver. Speaking after the medal ceremony, Africa Rafting Council President Balabas El Mamoun was proud of the event's success.
I would like to thank the athletes, that all the athletes of Africa and through the world who come to Sagana here in Kenya.
The Sagana leg of the Rafting World Cup Series attracted competitors from 18 nations and was live on KBC Channel 1. And let's look at football now. A total of 25 coaches drawn from Football Kenya Federation Nairobi East Branch have undergone a 3-day refresher course, which is aimed at assessing the CAF-D certified coaches as they prepare for the CAF-C course later on. Ulinzi Stars coach and former Kenyan international Mohamed Rio Hassan was among those who undertook the course, which is geared towards building capacity of the coaches, which will in turn translate to improved soccer development at the grassroots.
Kumekuwaga na change of curriculum ya ma coaching course, so hatujafanya CAF-C for karibu one year. 2025 hakuwa na CAF-C, so imeonekana sasa lazima makochi wetu waende refresher course ndio waweze kwenda kujoin CAF-C ile na kuja soon. Ndio maana tuliona tuweze kufanya hii class, na class imekuwa for 3 days na tumekuwa na attendance imekuwa coach 25 leo wameweza kuhitimu na cheti zao. So tunaweza ambia former players hata ifai kufika kwa ati wewe ni former player ndio kuje class. Ukiona kama Europe watu waanza hizi vitu kama bado wanacheza mpira.
I will apply what I've learned today for those 3 days. It has been helpful for me, because I've refreshed my mind. There's some things that I never put in consideration, but now I think I have to do, because I have to make a step in coaching.
Mimi kwanza nikiongea kama former international, nafikiri ni nafasi ya kuweza kujipatia elimu zaidi ili niende nielimishe wachezaji wa kesho, kwa sababu ukiangalia hata mpira yetu kwa sahii, mpira haijakuwa vizuri ukilinganisha na hapo nyuma, lakini kwa mafunzo mazuri ile tutapata sahii kwenda mbele, nafikiri itatusaidia ndio tuweze kuza talanta zile zinakuja.
Kuachie usiaibike. Anyway, ukitaka kutazama mchezo yote iko KBC.
And back to the World Cup fever now, where residents of Olkalau town in Nyandarua County turned up in large numbers to enjoy the FIFA World Cup quarter-final clash between Belgium and Spain through Kenya Broadcasting Corporation's Bao Fever public screening initiative. Now the fans say the watch party provided an opportunity for the community to come together, share the excitement of the global tournament and support their favorite teams. Dan Mwendwa has that story.
Before kick-off, fans were treated to a vibrant street performances featuring music, dance and lively entertainment as supporters proudly rallied behind their respective teams. As the World Cup quarter-final between Spain and Belgium got underway, Olkalau railway grounds filled with fans eager to witness the high-stakes encounter, with each side confident of their team would emerge victorious. Excitement erupted when Spain opened their scoring, sending their supporters into jubilant celebrations. However, the celebrations were short-lived as Belgium responded with an equalizer moments later, setting up a thrilling contest. The drama continued until the closing stages of the match, when Mikel Merino found the winning goal to seal Spain's victory and spark wild celebrations among Spanish supporters. After the final whistle, residents of Olkalau praised KBC for bringing the World Cup experience closer to their community through the Bao Fever public viewing event.
Bora ya leo Merino alikuwa sawa, lakini timu Spain kichwa kabisa wachukue. Leo tumewatch KBC live, lakini mko sawa kabisa.
Saina support France wachukue kikombe. Na saa hii World Cup tunafurahia juu tunaiwatch KBC Channel 1.
Tumesema tufunge safari kutoka huko Nairobi, tuingie hapa Olkalau, hapa Nyandarua County, tuhakikishe kwamba kila Mkenya aliye hapa kwa county ya Olkalau amepata kujiburudisha na sisi katika ili kikombe kikuu cha dunia.
Many expressed their hope that the broadcaster would return with more events in the future.
Tumefurahia sana kwa kuletea hiyo game ya Spain. For the first time tumeletewa wametufikiria kama the channel number 1. Tumefurahia sana. We are very happy. Thank you very much.
Tumefurahia kwanza KBC kukuja nyumbani. Tunaomba mkuje hivyo mara mingi before hii World Cup ishe.
na game imekuwa fiti. Mimi nilikuwa nyuma ya Belgium lakini tumebwangwa na tunakumbali.
The Bao Fever initiative organized by the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation is designed to bring football fans together to support their favorite teams and share the excitement of this year's FIFA World Cup in a vibrant community setting. Mikel Merino's 85th minute goal against Belgium was enough to assure them a spot in the semi-finals, and now they'll be looking forward to edge out 2018 champions France to secure a spot in the finals. Reporting for KBC Channel 1 from Olkalau, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
Indeed, the Bao Fever and KBC continues to bring you at your doorstep the ongoing 2026 FIFA World Cup. On to athletics, because Team Kenya for the World Athletics Under-20 Championships ramped up its training in Kasarani Stadium in preparation for the global event set for the 5th to 9th of next month in Oregon, USA.
The team of 12 boys and 11 girls reported to the residential training camp early this week, almost 6 weeks after the trials were held at the Nyayo National Stadium.
Mahali penye kulikuwa na upungufu kidogo ilikuwa about speed, ndio na focus hii about speed, na sio mbaya, naona inakuja ina improve kidogo, iko na improvement kidogo. Okay, kwa team tunaiona vyema, tunaitarajia mazuri sababu naona hard work na wako discipline pia.
For the first time, Kenya will be represented in the field event at the Global Championship, with the African Under-20 silver medalist Kelvin B participating in the triple jump.
Tangu tuingie kambi, tumetrain smart, coaches wako sawa na athletes wako cooperative. Yeah, tuna cooperate as athletes. Tunaenda kukimbia as a team. I am the best athlete win. Yeah, tuna appreciate mwenye atawin. Tunashukuru Mungu juu medali itarudi Kenya.
Head coach Robert Ngisrei is confident in the team and is hopeful of a better medal haul in Oregon, USA.
Wanariata wanapambana kwa mazoezi na tunaombea hao Mola ili wasiti wabaki wakiwa katika hali njema ndio mazoezi iendelee vyema.
The coaches and the technical bench, they are happy. They know that this team is going to do well. I have seen also their faces, they are very young, and this is the category that we wanted to make sure that we have athletes that are in their own age groups. We don't want to have a situation where we have all those who are outside their age categories.
Athletics Kenya Youth Director Barnaba Koril, who visited the team's training camp, assured them of full support to ensure they deliver the best results.
Nurturing of talent is what we are good at. Transition is very important so that we have continuity. If we don't have transition, preparation, then of course we'll have a vacuum where at some point when the other athletes get old, they don't have anybody else to follow up. We are always closing that gap, and Athletics Kenya has done a magnificent job in making sure that there is continuity.
Kenya is targeting to better its 2024 outing in Lima, Peru, where it finished 5th overall with 3 gold, 3 silver and a bronze.
Kila mtu alikuwa amefika ile kiwango ya juu. So kwanza tunajaribu kumaintain na tunajaribu pia kuzuia injuries ili tusibuwe na injuries. So training yetu tunajaribu kubalance, tunaangalia endurance, tunaangalia speed na tunajaribu kuavoid injuries.
The 21st World Athletics Under-20 Championship is set to be held in Oregon, USA from the 5th to the 9th of next month.
And the race for the Kenya Cup volleyball title intensified as DCI and KCB secured places in the women's semi-finals after defeating KDF and Postbank respectively, while Chema advanced to the men's quarterfinals at the Nyayo basketball court here in Nairobi.
DCI survived a spirited comeback from KDF to claim a 3-2 victory, with DCI winning the opening 2 sets 25-19 and 25-15 before KDF responded with 25-22 and 25-19 to level the match. DCI, however, held their nerve to edge the deciding set 15-13 and secure a semi-final spot. KCB also advanced after seeing off Postbank 3-0, cruising 25-14 and 25-13 victories in the opening 2 sets before fighting back from a 6-point deficit to win the third set 25-23 and seal the win. Meanwhile, in the men's round of 16, Chema proved too strong for Kenya Navy, winning straight sets of 25-17, 25-17 and 25-18 to book their place in the quarterfinals.
And back to athletics, where 27 coaches have been awarded World Athletics Level 1 certificates after completing their training, a move aimed at promoting grassroots athletics development. AK President retired Lieutenant General Jackson Tuwei challenged the coaches to remain committed to professionalism and integrity as the country scales up the fight against doping in the sport. The graduation ceremony held in Nairobi was attended by the Israeli ambassador to Kenya, Gideon Biha, and elite athletes. The training, organized by the Aberdare Sports Club, was conducted in Eldoret between the 10th and 21st of last month and was entry-level training for athletics coaches as well as the officials.
Comprehensive it was, and the fact that we were taken from how you identify the talent from a young age and how you can know whether this person will become an elite athlete and how you can coach them differently from up to a level where they become an elite.
You not hear a technical official telling an athlete or talking to athlete about coaching, about drugs or drug abuse in that matter. But a coach will say everything. This is not right, it should not be done. And even the doping that we have in this country, those coaches who have not gone through these trainings, I believe some of them have contributed highly to that.
The certificate that you'll be awarded today from World Athletics, we want to wish you all the very best, but don't let us down. Don't let us down. Go and work hard. Let's get things going. Let's have our sport developed, and that it goes beyond what we have today.
This relationship will continue and develop, and that we increase our cooperation also in the field of sport.
And young basketball players from across Africa are converging in Nairobi for the NCAA Certified Africa. The three-day event has attracted international coaches and scouts seeking to identify talented athletes for scholarships and recruitment into the overseas institutions. The event, organized by Worldwide Scholarships, is a historic milestone for African basketball, giving players an opportunity to be assessed under the NCAA-aligned standards while connecting them to the global education and sporting opportunities. Now the event features skills assessments, drills and showcase games aimed at identifying talent from across the continent. The Africa Showcase continues tomorrow with the aim of providing access to international scholarships and strengthening basketball development across the African continent.
It will boost the players' confidence to know that at this point there's someone that is outside here in Africa recognizing talent. Because most of us, the background we come from, are not really pretty. So when we see something like this, we'll show up big time.
We want to start a pipeline for the high school boys at like 14 and up, to go to South Africa and play for our teams there. And then for the kids that are in university age, to try to get a pipeline to the U.S. and the NCAA.
We look to expose them through the NCAA standards, so what they would find in a traditional combine when they are introducing to the professional setup. This gives them a baseline so that they know what to expect.
And finally, let's look at what's happening in the World Cup, where Belgium keeper Thibaut Courtois has defended Belgium's so-called golden generation after their World Cup quarter-final exit against Spain, saying the team can be proud of its achievements despite failing to win a major title. Now, Belgium's hopes ended with a 2-1 defeat to Spain, marking the final World Cup appearance for veteran stars like Kevin De Bruyne and Romelu Lukaku, Axel Witsel. The generation that also featured Eden Hazard and Vincent Kompany managed best finish of third place at the 2018 World Cup finals. Courtois said Belgium, despite being a small football nation, consistently competed amongst the world's best and believes a new generation of talent will continue the country's progress. Meanwhile, the quarterfinals continues early tomorrow morning with England facing Norway, while defending champions Argentina will take on Switzerland. The matches, of course, will be live on KBC Channel 1.
Pass the great ball, Olmo, good save, rebound!
like that. Timothy Castagna drawing it in, finding his way blocked, but now there's an opening. Decatur-Lara's in there! Brilliant header! Belgium level! King Charles strikes again!
Yes, indeed. And with that particular one, of course, the World Cup continues, as we say. The tagline, Marie, has been World Cup iko KBC.
Of course, yeah, exactly. So if I ask a question now.
Yes.
Today is Norway versus England.
Yes.
And then we have Switzerland and
Argentina.
So make a bet yako wapi?
I think mpaka final, France ni nashinda. Then today's matches, I think England will just edge out Norway 2-1. Then the other one, of course, the holders, Argentina, they've been really in hot form in this particular tournament, so I'm giving them an edge over Switzerland. So today I pick England over Norway and Argentina over Switzerland. How about you?
Okay, I'm not so sure of which one, but I think England, and there's a reason as to why, by association of some sort. I've always said, football na mimi, ni vile tu, but yes, I think England is where I'm putting my bets, and hopefully France should be in the finals if all goes well.
Sure.
So that's where I put my support. But thank you so much for making the time for us this evening. My name is Marie Yambo, definitely helping us on the sign languages, Byron Abuli. Bernard Okumo definitely has been there for the sports. Thank you so much. We hope to see you again next time.
Lost a bet. Every 4 years, emotions run wild across the world.